Yes, people, welcome back to another video on Thai Sports, where today I feel like I'm talking about something exciting. This is what I love about making football content, not just talking about the big trademark news that everyone sees, but talking about these signings that come out of nowhere for players that I truly think can have a big impact at the club they're joining and a big impact on the league. And today it's Aston Villa. Aston Villa have agreed a deal of around £30 million for young attacking player Evvan Guessand from Nice in the French league. And this has surprised me. This has caught me off guard. I did not expect it. I love the way that Aston Villa have gone around in business. I love that there's been no links. It's just been a bomber. Here we go in terms of Evvan Guessand joining Aston Villa. Literally, no sort of bid submitted. I hadn't seen nothing personally. Just a here we go. Deal agreed. And let me tell you now, this is going to be a proper signing. This is going to be a signing that people look at and they're going to be saying in a few months' time, where did they get him from? Why was no one else in for him? But this is what Monkey does, who is the director of football at Aston Villa. He signs these gems. I've seen him do it at Sevilla for a number of years. I've seen him work at Roma for a couple of years. And he doesn't go for the biggest names. He goes for names of potential, but also quality as well, that can come in and have an impact and are going to buy into the philosophy and the direction of the football club. And Evvan Guessand is going to do that. The Ivory Coast international at 24 years of age is coming into his peak, into his prime. He's developing. He's ready for this step up. And I think this is a very, very exciting signing for Aston Villa fans. So if you're watching, give this a like, because I'm going to tell you why. So Evvan Guessand to Aston Villa, here we go. Verbal agreement in place after 30 million euros plus 5 million add-ons bid accepted. So yeah, around 30 million pounds, 25, 30 million pounds. OGC Nice authorized Guessand to travel for medical and contract signing as next steps. New striker for Unai Emery. First thing I'm going to say is striker. Yeah, you could say that, but also inside forward, right winger. That's what I'm going to look at. I'm looking at the complete player you're getting in Evvan Guessand, because in France last year, this guy was one of the most dynamic, exciting type of players. And, you know, when you look at him, you think, okay, he's got all the traits to succeed in the Premier League. I'm going to show you a demographic of what I mean as well. But when I've watched him myself and what I've seen of him, and look, I haven't watched loads of him, but I feel like when you watch a player, you don't need to watch loads of them to see what their qualities and their capabilities are. And that was me with this player here, Evvan Guessand. He already suits the Aston Villa kit, to be honest. He looks like he's vibing. He's ready to score some goals in that kit. But when you look at him as a player and what he brings in the profile, it's perfect for Aston Villa, because the truth is as well, Aston Villa have needed an attacking signing for me. I think the window's been quiet for them this summer, as we know, PSR maybe and stuff like that, but it's been quiet for them. They lost Marcus Rashford, who went obviously to Barcelona on loan instead of staying with Aston Villa. You look at Leon Bailey on the right-hand side. Now, Leon Bailey's, not to say he's getting older, but he's injury prone. He's not as dynamic and as electric anymore. You've got Jacob Ramsey on the left-hand side, not a natural winger. I'll probably put him in a three-man midfield, but he can play out wide on the left, right? But you've got Jacob Ramsey. You've got Morgan Rogers as well. You've got Daniel Mallon. And then you've got Ollie Watkins up front. But I just feel like that attack is still missing something. It was missing, not saying an X factor, but it was missing a quality bit of depth, a quality signing that could come in under the radar a bit, that can make an impact and be a hit with the fans. And people are questioning, like, who's that? You know, when Ismail Assar went to Crystal Palace, obviously we remember him from Watford, but when he went to Crystal Palace and signed from Marseille, I knew that would be a good signing, and I think people did as well, because they've seen what he had done in the Premier League before. But you know, them type of signings that come in, they just hit the ground running, and Sar's a staple in that Crystal Palace team. He plays 90 minutes. He can play up top if needed. He plays on that right wing of the front three, because they play a 3-4-3 basically, him, Eze, and Mateta. But it just works. And I get the same vibes from Guessand. He's going to be like an Ismail Assar for Crystal Palace. He's going to be that type of player that's versatile, out wide on the right, inside sometimes in central positions, and can find himself up top in some positions, because he's got that quality. He's got that African quality. You know, them players that are strong, quick, and they can do a bit of everything. And the Ivory Coast international is going to add that to Aston Villa, because I've been saying that if it wasn't Garnacho they went for, they needed to get someone else. because I felt like Garnacho could compete with Ramsey on the left. Donyell Mallon's on the right. Bailey, them two, don't know. Donyell Mallon's first proper season. And then you've got Morgan Rogers in the 10, who's a mainstay, and Watkins up top at the moment. But Watkins hasn't really got competition because Duran's left. So now with Guessand signing, you've got someone that can play on the right, someone that can come inside in the right channel, and someone that can play up top as well. So it gives Watkins a bit of competition, but also you've got the quality that, you know, you could play a front three that is going to be threatening, that is going to be potent. Because when you look at Aston Villa now, already just having that signing, it just opens up things a bit more for Aston Villa. It definitely does, 100%. It opens up things for Aston Villa in terms of, you know, playing in Europe this season, which is obviously going to be a factor as well. So you need good squad depth. But not just squad depth, like I said to you already, having the quality. And when you look at Aston Villa now, this is a potential front four that they can line up with. And that just gives you a bit more excitement that can really do something. I look at that and I think, do you know what? Guessand on the right, Rogers in the 10, Ramsey on the left, and Watkins. You've got a bit of flavour. You've got different profiles. You've got Ramsey, more of a close dribbler, more like a midfielder as well, but can chip in with a couple goals, assists, but his output's not the highest. You've got Rogers, who we know is a ball-carrying demon, and he's just great in there, can score, can create, will get better. He's had a full season in the Premier League now where he did shine in the first half, a bit quieter towards the second, but I think he's ready to explode again. And now you've got Guessand. And when you compare that to Leon Bailey and Donyell Mallon, who are now great options off the bench, because I think Mallon's got the pace to cause problems. We've seen that. And I think Leon Bailey as well, styles make fights. In some games when you play at home, he's great, especially in that first half. Sometimes he gets a quick early goal or assist. It just gives Villa more balance and more threatening ability now. Mallon can play off the left as well, where Ramsey is. And Guessand, him and Rogers, I'm telling you now, together with Watkins, I think they're going to cause teams problems. They are going to cause teams problems because when you've got ball carrying ability players like Guessand and Rogers that can drive with the ball, can take on players, can dribble, it puts a lot of teams in the back foot, both in transition when you're counter-attacking with that type of trio there, but also when you've got the ball and you can actually pen teams back and you've got players that are relentless like Rogers and Guessand that are going to keep going and going and going. I really like this. And I think them two are going to have a great partnership together. I really do, because they've got two of them really elite ball carrying abilities that you need and the ability to dribble and take on your man. Because Guessand can do that. He can find a pass. He can take on his man. He can ball carry. And I think these players are the type of players that succeed when it comes to the Premier League. I've always said the best type of wingers, the best kind of attackers are the ones that can take on a man 1v1, can dribble with the ball, are physical as well, because the Premier League is physical. You can get found out. You can get found out. But I don't think Guessand is going to get found out. This is the reason for me. Look at the qualities this guy has. Look at the qualities. You can see it there, people. Shot creating actions. He's in the blue compared to Ollie Watkins, by the way. And look, Ollie Watkins is a dead-on striker, right? Guessand can play on the right, behind the striker, as a striker. So he's going to have a bit more variety to his game. But you want that if you're looking at a player like this playing in different positions. His shot creating action is very high. Passes completed higher than Watkins. Pass completion the same. Progressive passes high. Progressive carries and successful take-ons. Look at that, people. That is the standout quality for me. Carries. Other than Morgan Rogers, Jacob Ramsey now, and Guessand, there's not many teams in the league that have the ball carrying ability that they have in their front four. I'll be honest with you. They have people that can run Aston Villa. And Unai Emery loves a player that works hard. And if you can get the ball from one end of the pitch to the other and help your team in transition, help your team get further up the pitch, cause chaos and bring space to others because you're attracting players towards you, you're on to a winner. And his progressive carries and his successful take-ons are high. They are high. This guy is strong. He's physical. He doesn't really lose the ball. And also, what I like about him is he knows when to pass as well. He releases the ball at the right times. Give and goes, 1-2s, crosses into the box, through balls. I really think Villa are onto a player here. I do. I think this is the type of signing that if, you know, Man United were even making it, and I'm a Man United fan, I'll be excited about. But I like it that it's Villa, because Villa are not the biggest club in England, of course. But Villa need to try and find players in the market that other teams might not look at. Find a little loophole, find some great talents. And this is one of them. Look at that ability there. It's there for you all to see. The consistency is high. And this guy's only going to get better. This guy's only going to get better, people. He played 33 games for Nice last year in the league, 12 goals, 8 assists, 20 goal contributions. You always say, if you're a top club, what do you want? The first thing you say is, okay, 10 goals, 10 assists, 20 goal contributions, I'll take it. 15 goals, 5 assists, cool. 9 goals, 11 assists, cool. If you get 20 goal contributions from one of your midfielders or attacking players, that's a decent return. Because if you combine that with other players chipping in, and Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins, maybe Telemans with a few and stuff like that, Daniel Mallon coming off the bench, you're on to a winner. That's what you want. Manchester United scored 44 goals last year, our lowest ever. And we went out and signed Mbeumo and Cunha because we needed Premier League proven quality that can add numbers and take the pressure off Bruno Fernandes. And I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. But that's what I'm looking at Villa. You know, you've got Ollie Watkins, he's going to lead the line as the number one forward, but he hasn't really got the depth in the competition. But now you've got Guessand that can play there, but also he provides competition for the wingers as well on the right-hand side. So this signing makes so much sense for Aston Villa, the direction, Monkey and the age and the profile and the fee of less than £35 million, 35 million euros for a player that's on the up, a player that I've watched and I've seen, and I think he's got all the traits to really work in the Premier League. I think this is such a good signing for Villa. And I'm excited to see how this works out. I'd actually put this in kind of like my top 5 most intriguing signings of the summer. I really like it. I really do. Jarrell Hatto was another one to Chelsea. This one to Aston Villa. I do really like the Reinders one to Manchester City because I've always been a big fan of Reinders. So like there's been signings that have been made that I'm just like, yeah, they seem to tick the box of what that team needs and what that profile brings. And I think that Evvan Guessand is going to be another one for Aston Villa that they're really going to enjoy, they're really going to like, and I think the fans can get behind him. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is what I think he is going to bring to Aston Villa and why they've signed him. Let me know in the comments your thoughts, Aston Villa fans. And good luck with the season. I hope Evvan Guessand can show you what he's capable of. And I'll see you on my next few videos. Big up, guys.